So last weekend I went on a short trip with my boyfriend, and I wanted to share it because it was very different to any other trip that I've been on since entering recovery, since being in my eating disorder. It was just a whole lot easier and better and more enjoyable than before. First of all, though, I do want to say I realize how lucky I am to be able to get out of my house and go on short trips like that in my country, because I know that a lot of you are in lockdowns or just not in places where you're able to do that. And so I am sending lots of love to you over there, because that's really tough. So I went on a trip last weekend because my boyfriend and I have been dating now for 1 year, which in itself is crazy to me, because during my eating disorder I never had the energy for a relationship. I didn't have the headspace to think about another person. I didn't want a relationship. I really didn't, because all I saw from a relationship is someone interfering with my rituals and behaviors and my endeavor to lose weight, basically. So a relationship was just an inconvenience to me. But since starting recovery, I have been in this relationship. It's been really good overall, ups and downs for sure, but overall it's going really well. I have to speak positively of it now, because my boyfriend actually just discovered my channel like a few days ago. Yeah, I hadn't told him about it. Anyway, during my eating disorder, and during recovery actually, I would always feel really anxious before going on trips. I hated being out of routine. I hated going out to dinner because it caused me so much anxiety. Whenever I went on trips, they were rare, but I did do them. I would pretty much bring my own food if I could. I would make my own safe meals, which was a whole lot of work, really time consuming. Half the time I would go on the trip and I wouldn't even eat them anyway. I would be ravenously hangry, and so trips were not enjoyable for me. And I would also be super stressed about fitting in exercise. Would I have to get up early? Would I have to do it late at night? When would I exercise? I would think, well, I might not be able to exercise. I better fit in a bit of more exercise before I go on my trip. And so basically, trips were just this huge event, because I would have to spend the week beforehand at least preparing my food, exercising for insane lengths of time. And then after the trip, I would be really anxious that I had eaten too much, even though I'd probably eaten less than I usually would. And then I would exercise even more, suffer with terrible guilt. And so I dreaded trips. I hated them. I really did. But this trip was different. And beforehand, I genuinely felt excited, because I have practiced eating different foods. I've practiced eating out. I enjoy eating out. Not always, but more often now. I wasn't stressed about trying to exercise. I didn't have to bring safe meals, though I did bring snacks, of course, because snacks are important. But I brought snacks that I actually enjoy, not gross diet culture-y versions. Okay, my parents just came home, so I will continue recording this soon, but basically before the trip I was excited, which was a huge change for me. So I'm just doing some baking because I'm going away this weekend. It's my first year, our first year. So my boyfriend and I have been dating for almost a year now, so we're going away this weekend. The place we're staying at doesn't have a kitchen, so most of our meals we'll have to buy, which will be a challenge in itself, but I still need to bring snacks, so I'm baking some brownies right now. So I'm feeling
a little bit anxious about going because obviously it's out of routine, it's different food in different places, lack of control, because I mean, I don't know what kind of cafes and restaurants are around where we're going, but I also don't need to look it up to check because I know that I can eat pretty much anywhere, and I'm expecting it to feel a little challenging to my eating disorder, or maybe a lot challenging to my eating disorder, but my boyfriend will be there who's a good support, and I'll also bring my journal. Yeah, just keep reminding myself that this is the life that I want to live, and so I need practice at it. Yeah, so I better finish making these. So I'm taking some tea bags and some instant coffee, also some beer and wine, but that's in the fridge for now. And then in here I've got some porridge sachets, as well as some cashew nuts, almonds, some chips, nectarines, and apples are in here. So I got changed because I'm going to do some cleaning and I have a long to-do list, but the brownies are baking, but I need a snack first. So I'm eating this, which is avocado with sweet chili sauce in the middle. So it's a snack that my dad suggested to me, and I was like, no, because a whole avocado is kind of scary for me. Or, I mean, I feel fine actually now that it's here, though it's not really that big. But yeah, this is just not a snack that I would ever think to have. Like, avocados have caused me a little bit, do tend to cause me a little bit of anxiety in certain situations. Don't know, eating disorders are not logical, really. So I'm gonna eat this and then get on to my to-do list. But I guess I don't need to talk about my whole weekend. I actually have a blog post on it, but some other things that were different were when we arrived at our destination, which was a really cute little cottage, we actually just slept for a few hours, which was really nice because we were both tired. In the past, I would have such a hard time with taking naps. I don't feel so much now like I used to about naps being unproductive or something like that. I needed rest, and I'm better at listening to my body now and acknowledging that I still have a way to go, but getting better. We went out for dinner at a Thai restaurant, which was delicious, and I had fried rice with like fried tofu and vegetables, and it was all really tasty. And then the next day we took a long trip to the tip of the North Island in New Zealand, and it's also just nice that I could sit in the car for that long and not feel guilty or feel urges to move, or afterwards go for a run or go to the gym or something like that, which I definitely would have felt in the past. And we had snacks along the way which were really nice, cookies and chocolate, and yeah. everything is just so much easier when you don't have a really loud eating disorder in your head, and so much more enjoyable as well. At night we went out for dinner and I had pizza, which was slightly challenging for me, but I did it. It wasn't that tasty, unfortunately, but food doesn't have to be perfect, and I don't really feel pressure about food being perfect as much as I used to, because I know that I can have pizza again. I know that I can eat more food. Like, it doesn't have to be amazing to be worth eating. There really is no such thing as a waste of calories. The next day we went home, but before we went home we did have a really nice lunch on the waterfront, so that was one of the highlights for sure. So I guess the point of this video is just that, like, recovery takes a long time. It's taken me a long time to get to this point where I can actually enjoy going away for a weekend. I've been in recovery for a couple of years. I'm bad at keeping track of time, but yeah, I've been in recovery for a while now. It's taken a long time for me to get to this point. Other people probably get there faster, but it really doesn't matter. You're on your own journey. Just be patient, keep pushing in recovery, and the benefits will come. And I'm not fully recovered yet by any means. I still had moments of fear and guilt and anxiety on that trip. It wasn't perfect. Like, before the pizza, before ordering at the Thai restaurant, I absolutely had my eating disorder in my head and wasn't sure what to pick, and I asked my boyfriend, what should I get, and ended up doing eeny meeny miny mo and deciding. So I still have moments that are challenging for me, and like eating the pizza wasn't that enjoyable, to be honest, because it didn't taste good, and I was worried about feeling guilty afterwards, which I did a little bit, and I did a little bit the next morning, but it's way not as bad as it used to be. Even though I'm living with a little bit of my eating disorder still left, my life is so much better now than during my eating disorder. Like, even not being fully recovered, recovery has still proven to be worth it. Of course, I am still going for full recovery, and I believe that I will get there. I mean, there's that whole saying, like, recovery is a marathon, don't stop before the finish line, and I'm not planning to. So I'm going to end this video here because that's all I have to say, but thank you so much for watching. Lots of love to you. I hope that you are keeping safe and well, and I'll record again soon. Bye.